After a sluggish start to the 2021 season, the Golden State Warriors are now picking up the pace, and this sudden turnaround in play has had one common factor: the return of Draymond Green to the starting lineup. Over the past few years, Draymond Green has received a considerable amount of criticism due to his lack of impact in the box score, and in the casual fans' eyes, he is not seen as that great of a player. Many have been calling him overrated or washed up. However, in his few games so far this season, he's proved he makes a much bigger difference than what it seems on the surface. And I'll be showing you why today he's a much higher impact player for the Warriors than you might think, even with his offensive woes. Before we start, if you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content like this. I'm trying to hit 16,000 subscribers by February, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about Draymond Green. The majority of Draymond's impact comes from two areas: defense and playmaking. So I'm going to talk about each of those areas in today's video and explain how it makes him so special and impactful to this Warriors team, even without all the glamorous highlights and stats. In 4 games this season, Green's averaging only 2.5 points on horrific shooting splits, so casual fans will tend to disregard him as a good player. But again, that's not where he makes his worth. Let's get into the defensive sides of things first. Let's quickly talk about his defensive stats before we get into his defensive game overall. Draymond averages 1.5 steals a game and half a block, and also has one of the best defensive box plus minuses in the league currently. He's second in the whole league in that area, with a defensive box plus minus of positive 2.6, whilst Miles Turner, Ben Simmons, and Bam Adebayo all sit ahead of him with positive 3.0 each. This positive impact can be seen in a recent win over the Portland Trailblazers. In 28 minutes, Draymond had 3 deflections and 2 charges drawn, and he was essentially the defensive anchor in that game, preventing a late Portland run from developing into something serious and allowing Curry to dominate on the other end. He also completely locked up the pick and roll involving Jusuf Nurkic, always making the right rotations to slow him down. He finished that 15-point win with a box plus minus of plus 22. Again, you can get a glimpse of Green's defensive impact through the box score and advanced stats, but it's not until you watch the game when you realize how amazing he is. The reason I say that is because you can't put his unmatched IQ into numbers. Draymond doesn't have the physical skill set a lot of other great defenders like Giannis Antetokounmpo have, such as freakish length. What he does have though is an amazing IQ on that end, reading plays before they happen and constantly making the correct defensive adjustment. Moreover, he is extremely versatile and can guard big men in the low post as well as quicker guards out on the perimeter, which makes him so dangerous and useful on that end. He helps the Warriors out in so many ways. Overall, Green is still one of the best defenders in the league today, and is arguably the most important member to this Warriors squad this season. His impact on this end may not be obvious if you don't watch a lot of Golden State basketball, but if you watch back the tape, you will see just how great he is and always has been. Moving on to offense now though, Draymond can be elite on this end as well. Obviously not in scoring, he's struggled there for years, but an underrated and often overlooked part of his game is his playmaking. Green is a fantastic passer and has incredible intelligence when running plays offensively. He's often put into the primary ball handler role to get plays started, and is able to manipulate defenses often with his vision. Areas I've noticed he's particularly dominant in when it comes to playmaking is in transition. He does a great job at pushing the pace and making correct dimes on a fast break. I've really liked his chemistry with James Wiseman so far, and he's also been decent in the pick and roll. Overall, this is an area of Draymond Green's game that goes completely unnoticed a lot. Most fans understand he's a good defender, but I think a lot of people believe he's a liability offensively, due to his shooting woes, even though that's not the case at all. What he does offensively with his playmaking needs a lot more recognition to me because it actually has a positive impact on the Warriors, and hopefully a light has been shone on that today. Overall, Draymond Green's impact is already being heavily felt on this Warriors team this season. They're 2-2 in the 4 games he's played, yet look so much better than they did in their first 4 games without him. They were barely beating Chicago and Detroit, and since he's returned, they've smoked a Blazers team and almost beaten the LA Clippers, a premier team in the association currently. Though he doesn't stuff the stat sheet or have major highlights often, like a swat block, his ability to prevent the opposition from creating opportunities with his ridiculous defensive IQ is not getting talked about enough by the general NBA community and mainstream media, and his creation and playmaking on offense needs a lot more love too. Draymond Green is probably not an all-star caliber player anymore like he was in that 3-year stretch from 2016 to 18. But he still is one of the league's best players, and to put it simply, is getting a bit overhated. I saw a tweet the other day, I'll try to find it, but if I can't, here is what it said basically. Draymond can go 1 for 7 from the field in a game, yet still have a major positive impact on the floor. People don't understand this though, because they look at the box score and see those shooting numbers and believe that he's playing like trash, when that isn't the case at all. Draymond Green makes everything easier for the Warriors. He's the spark that runs their amazing engine that's won them so many championships in the past few seasons. And he's the reason why they're pushing to be a solid playoff team in 2021. Put some respect on Draymond Green's name. He doesn't do the glamorous stuff, but he does everything else that makes the Warriors so great, and that impact in itself needs a lot more attention. And that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? What are your thoughts on Draymond Green? Do you think the impact he makes with his defense and playmaking needs some more recognition? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.
Hey, Mobs, that sounds wavy.